Hello and welcome to Informally Formal. I am excited today to bring another young, enterprising entrepreneur from Bangladesh. He is the chairman of Active Chemicals, also chairman of Pristine Life Sciences Limited, managing director of several companies, Pristine Chem Limited, and others. Serves on the boards of many institutions. A young individual. His name is Mohammad Ziauddin. A very warm welcome to you, Mohammad Ziauddin. Such a pleasure to have you on our program.
Thank you, Akbar bhai. Thank you. My pleasure to be with you here. It's a great show.
All right, fantastic. We're going to be talking about Active Pharmaceutical Ingredient. As everyone knows, because of the pandemic, the pharmaceutical industry has taken center stage, and the key element of what makes the drugs is active pharmaceutical ingredient. Is that correct, Zia? You can perhaps explain it a little better to our audience.
Thank you, Akbar bhai. Yes, my pleasure to explain a bit more clearly. If we can consider the life-saving drugs as a ready-made garment, we can consider API, which is the raw material of the antibiotics, as the fabric. So without the fabric, you cannot produce the ready-made garment, right? So that's how it is. So that's the backward linkage of life-saving drugs. That's what we call API.
Wow, that was beautifully explained, Zia. Very, very beautifully explained. Let me ask you now. Tell us first of all, how big is the pharmaceutical industry globally, and what percentage of that is API or active pharmaceutical ingredient globally, and then in Bangladesh? Tell us, how large is it?
So, global industry is big, Akbar bhai. It is $1 trillion industry. December 2020, it was recorded the global market was about $1.27 trillion. US market alone was about $390 billion. And if I may, give you the data about local market was about 3,000 crore taka last year, December. And the API the thumb rule is about, the API cost is about 20% of the market value. According to the global market, $1.27 trillion market, the API cost was about $254 billion worldwide. And as per the local market, the API market was about 600 crore taka, calculating from 3,000 taka market.
My next question to you, Zia, then, is how much of that 600 crore do we import?
We are 95% self-sufficient to produce the drugs ourselves in the country, supplying for the local market, also exporting to the global market. So 97% or 8% is importing from abroad.
Sorry for interjecting, but if I hear you correctly, on one hand, we produce and about 97% of the drugs that the country needs. But on the other hand, API, 97% we import. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we are heavily dependent on API import.
So Zia, where do we import it from? Mainly, which country do we import it from?
So mostly the country imports from China, India, and other countries like Europe, also US. The solvents, the APIs, depends on the product.
Zia, you are involved in producing API locally. So, can you tell us who your competitors are, or how many players are there in the market?
So, thanks again. We have been producing API since 2008-9. Till now, there are not much of competition. There are many big companies they have invested heavily. They are in production also, but different product, different markets. So don't have much direct competition to our products. But what competition we have is the product that importing from China and India, the same product that I am producing. So that is a challenge for us. Therefore, we wanted the policy support from the government. So government has given API policy. They have given 20% export incentive for API, 10% export incentive for pharmaceutical life-saving drugs in 2008, and also they have given a API policy in 2018. Difficulties that we have right now is this. As I have mentioned, that we are heavily dependent on import API. We must manufacture API in Bangladesh. Let me share you one more exciting data. Bangladesh is the LDC country, right? Out of 47 LDC countries, Bangladesh is number 1 in producing life-saving drugs.
Right.
There are no country in the world, LDC countries I'm talking about, is producing life-saving drugs like we do. And we are 97% self-sufficient. This is a great achievement. We should take pride of it. But again, to make it stronger, to sustain this, we must need to develop this API sector.
Let me ask you, what kind of policy reform would you like to see from the government to make the API industry flourish?
As I mentioned earlier, that government already is very supportive. Government has given us 20% export incentive for API. Under this policy, there is tax holiday, VAT holiday till 2032. But what is the problem here is that government has given the policy, but what we don't know is that after this policy, you need to get the SROs from the related agencies. If I can give an example, let's say if any company wants to get tax holiday, right, then they have to go to NPR. But under this policy, we are entitled to get tax holiday, VAT holiday. But if NPR doesn't approve the SRO, we cannot get this tax holiday and VAT holiday. So that is a bottleneck that we have. I can explain in 2 ways. One is if we want to get investment, local investment in Bangladesh, if we don't see that my investment is not secure, I'm not getting into a new sector. There are many challenges and hurdles that I have to face. So I need incentives, I need government support. When I'm going to NPR, I'm facing this. Also, this sector needs technical expertise, which we don't have. We don't have much technical expertise in this sector. So we have 2 ways. Either we have to hire the technical expertise from abroad to the country, or we have to get foreign partners into the country. So hiring those technical expertise, we need to make investment. So if I need to make investment, I have to make sure that my investment is secure through this incentive like tax holiday and VAT holiday, which is not still there, even the policy is. And if we want to get some FDI in the country, also the FDI partners, they will come and see the policy. When they will check that the policy is there, but the SRO is not, so they will be not investing here also. So there is also a challenge that I see that need to be addressed as soon as possible.
Yes, you bring about a very, very important point. And I've talked to industry leaders all across the spectrum, and what it seems is as if NBR is an entity that is separate from the rest of the government mechanism. It seems, and we need to fix that. That needs to be fixed. Cannot be an entity separate from the rest of the business community or the rest of the government mechanism.
Right.
So
I totally agree with you.
Yes, we must. The attitude should be one of accommodation rather than erecting barriers and hurdles, because we all, at the end of the day, is Bangladesh that we need to take forward. It's not us versus them. So I'm glad that you brought out that point, and it has been brought about by many business leaders. And, we urge the government, as we all applaud so many good things that the government has put in place, to where now Bangladesh is considered as the next Asian tiger. We must fix some of these things, and then I think the growth will just absolutely explode. So let me just kind of recap, Zia. What you basically said is, I'm sure for many of our audience, it's the first time they're getting to know this, which is pharmaceutical industry worldwide is huge. It's like $1.3 trillion, as you mentioned. And in Bangladesh, about 3,000 crore. 20% of that is active pharmaceutical ingredient. That's what we were talking about. That is the fabric that makes the garment, like you explained so beautifully, Zia. So, and in order to move this industry forward, and the advantage that Bangladesh enjoys even as an LDC country, is number one, exporting to more than 100 countries. Our pharmaceutical is being exported. So we need to do, I urge the government to look into any and all hurdles, to remove all hurdles, so that we become as close to self-sufficient in API as we are in pharmaceutical itself. Those are my concluding remarks. If you would like to add something to that, Zia.
Thank you. I think you rightly, explained that. So, I mean, that's the same thing I would like to add. This. I mean, the country has opportunity. It is a potential sector, and pharmaceutical industry, it is not a luxury product. This is life-saving drugs is not a luxury product. And given our experience in the pandemic, we see that how important this sector is, how much difficulties that we had to face for Corona, and how this is the vaccine that we need, and this is developing the health sector who is providing these securities, the cures for the vaccination or anything you name it. So, I mean, definitely we need to put these things in place rightfully and urgently, so that we can, cover up these hurdles and, keep the growth on.
Right. I think with those words, we'll wrap it up. Zia, it's been such a great pleasure. I'd like to thank you for your time today, and I would like to bring you back again, so we can continue this dialogue till we become self-sufficient in API. I would like to thank our audience for joining us. I would urge you all to stay safe. We are still in the midst of the pandemic. So I wish and pray that you all stay safe, stay home if you can. I'll catch you in the next session. Bye-bye.